Hello, hello. We're doing another little garden tour. I'll try and be a little faster this time. I know last time I was super slow. So it's been about 10 days since the last one. We've had a lot of development. So you can see I got beans starting to come up. I'm hoping to trellis some green beans, which I've never done before. I've only ever grown bush beans. And the eggplant are finally looking okay. I was a little worried about these for a while, but they're looking okay now. The peppers, however, I have no luck with peppers growing them from seed myself. I mean, it's not like the plant looks unhealthy, it's just staying that size. Well, we'll give it time. This is the habanada, which I've heard is kind of, because it's a hybrid, to get it not hot is hard to grow. The cucumbers are all finally starting to vine a little bit. I suspect when we come out here in another 10 days, these will look much different. The melons, however, also look a little sad. So I do have these two plants. This one's looking all right, like it's finally starting to take off. We had a couple of cool nights and it really hurt them. So the other day I did just direct sow a couple of seeds just in case, and we'll see if those come up and maybe they'll replace these plants. That cucumber's looking good. Okay, so tomatoes. So you know what, I have a thought. These tomatoes that I saved the seeds from a few years back from a farmer's market, I just have the hardest time growing them, most of them. And I'm starting to think it's because they are brandywines, which might explain why I struggle with it so much. So this one is a small pink tomato. So it's probably like a brandywine pink maybe. As you can see, they just never look, I don't know, it just looks sadder. It's doing okay. It is alive this year, which is more than I can say for the last 2 years I tried to grow it. And I think it's starting to, yeah, there's some buds on it now. Well, we'll see. There's been some other tomatoes that did this to me too. Everything else is looking fine. All of my own seeds started tomatoes look good. The sunflowers are shooting up over there too. No flowers on really anything except some of the tomatoes yet. Like this hasn't flowered yet, but it's pushing out, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And this bed is basically the same setup as this one. All tomatoes though, sunflowers. So these are looking okay. This is acorn squash, and again, I hope it'll start really shooting up. This is a climbing vine, and hopefully that'll start shooting up in the next couple of weeks. Squash is notoriously a fast grower. See, here's another one. This is so this is a saved seed, and look, the tomato plant itself just grows weird. This one too, this is a small yellow. I don't think there is a yellow brandywine, but it's got to be an heirloom. Why is the new growth doing this? Why is it curling like this? My other plants aren't doing that. It's just the ones I saved seed from. I don't know. Anyway, it's fine though, they're still growing. These are all the Dr. Wychees. I guess they're doing it too. That's some pretty heady new growth. I wonder if I have too much nitrogen in my soil. Well, it's the first year and I just put the fertilizer in, so it takes time to break down. So it's possible that this year will be a little nitrogen heavy. Over here I've got my summer squash, which of course are taking off now. So that is Cuba Butter, which is a really good yellow straight neck squash. And these are my two favorite. This is the English Gelber patty pan, and patty pans are my favorite. And I think I am going to try succession sowing this year, so I'll let these grow for like a month and a half, 2 months. And when they start to get tired at all, I'll have some new squash to put right in there and keep getting summer squash because I love them. So this pepper has a flower. Yay! And this is one of the long, thin, sweet ones. These are doing much better than the habanadas. So yeah, I'll focus on these more next year, I think. These just are doing better in this climate. These eggplant I started later and they still look kind of sad. The ground cherry, so I want to take a picture of this just because this, look how much growth you've had since just in 2 weeks. Now when I come out 10 days from now, this is going to be a giant bush. The ground cherry is the fastest growing thing I've ever seen. When it finally starts to take off, it gets insane. So my carrots are coming up, and I know it's late. I know it's late in the season to have carrots, but it doesn't get too hot here in Maine, even in the hottest part of the summer. And I didn't have the beds ready earlier in spring when it was the best time to put in carrots, so I'm just gonna see how it goes. I've got onions in here and they're all looking pretty good, and another row of carrots there. And the asparagus, yay! Oh wait, one thing at a time. Sorry, also allergies. The bee balm's doing fine in this pot. I think it was a good choice. I don't know. The cloth bags kind of worry me for something permanent, but apparently bee balm, you can break up the rhizomes and replant it if you need to. So asparagus. So almost all of the asparagus has now come up. You can't see it very well because it's still pretty spindly, but all of the rows you can't see. Some of them are still pretty tiny, but all up, all the same. So I'm very happy. I think only 2 asparagus that I put in this bed have not come up, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I am really happy with this. So in a month or so, this might be big and ferny. Again, I started this later than I would have liked to, but it is what it is, right? This was an impulse buy, like at Home Depot the other day. You can see it's 2 tomatoes. They're really root bound. They were already too big. I tried to separate them, but I was afraid to just cut through their roots. I know that tomatoes can take a lot of root damage, but still. So this is just kind of an experiment. I'm gonna grow these as if they were indeterminates in this bag and just kind of rope them up to this pole. And it's a cherry tomato, a brown black cherry. I think it's called chocolate sprinkles. That's what that one's called. And then I gave in and bought strawberries because I was having terrible luck with the strawberry crowns. Unlike the asparagus crowns, which I apparently planted just fine, the strawberry crowns, I had 3 come up. So you can see, yeah, I just have a couple here. And the rest were just dead as a doornail. They were actually rotting in the ground when I pulled them up. 4 came up, sorry, I can't count. Yeah, so I don't know. I think they were dead already. Like I said, I got them on sale. They were 30% off, end of the season, kind of late. But I got in these whole strawberry plants. They cost a little bit, about $60, I think, for this whole bed full of strawberry plants, which is a little bit of an initial investment, but honestly, my family could eat $60 worth of strawberries a month easily. They could eat $60 worth of strawberries a week. So I think it's going to be a good investment. I'm not letting them vine out right now. I do need to come through, and this one's looking kind of sad for some reason. I think it's a little dry, but it's supposed to rain here, and I was afraid I don't want to overwater because then we're going to get like 10 days of rain, so it'll recover. But I'm going to cut off all the blossoms, cut off all the shoots and everything, and just let these root this year, and then next year hopefully we'll have some nice strawberries. And then over here we have my chamomile, which has just become a joke, I guess. The chamomile, which it's not flowering yet, but oh wait, I see, yeah, first heads of the flower, and there's some kind of insect all over this, I think. And those little tiny spiders, I don't know, I'll have to look at that closer. But anyway, there's nothing on the rest of this, so I have no idea. That's the chamomile. These are the potatoes, which really came up nice considering these were grocery store potatoes that sat too long, so I just chitted them and planted them out here. And hopefully they'll make a whole bunch. They're just the waxy white standard potato variety, so we'll see how they do, because I don't even know if they're like determinate or indeterminate or long or short day or whatever. Same with the onions. I don't know if these are like long or short day onions. Next year I'll try and do a better job of planting the proper varieties, but this year it is what it is. So these are just those little onion sets you get like at Home Depot, and I've got them all over the garden. So oh, it's supposed to be a thunderstorm here in the next 30 minutes. We moved this barrel. It was over near the front of the house over there, and we thought we wanted to put it someplace we wanted it, and it was full of trash. There was like 8 inches of dirt, and then it was plastic bottles and pop cans all the way down. And the whole bottom of the barrel had rotted out, but we just moved it. We liked the look of it, filled it back up, cleaned it out obviously, filled it up with good soil, and put some bee balm in there. Oh, sorry, not bee balm. That one's catmint. I don't know. I'm working on this still. Everything's a work in progress. Everything's so far behind. Look at our poor lilac. I think Maybe by next year it'll be more recovered. James pruned it in the middle of summer last year. I told him not to. But it is what it is, and it's still alive, so maybe next summer it will have recovered. I gotta pull the flowers off my... It smells so good. This is lemon thyme, which is one of my favorite things. I can let some of it flower. I'll like let one of them flower and not the other one, because I cook with this. Oh, I love the smell. So good. And the lavender. This is all a mess. I decided to pull it up. I think I'm just going to come out here and hoe this all under and put some kind of bark mulch on top and just not worry about it for the rest of this year, because it's too many weeds, and it doesn't get any sun. It turns out it only gets about 1 to 2 hours of sun a day, whereas this gets sun most of the day. It's just the angle of the house between the porch here. So anyway, oh, here comes the rain. Big fat raindrops. Woo! So I'm gonna go inside. Yeah, here comes that storm finally that they've been promising us. So that's it, everybody. I'll come back in 10 days and we'll see how everything's going, and I'll see you all then. Yep. Love you. Bye.